Hi everyone, welcome to Your Techie Buddy. So this is an interesting series where we have come up with some tips and tricks which are very important when you are going and attending an interview as a fresher, or you are someone who is attending interviews after a quiet gap. Yeah, let's get started. So here are certain tips and tricks which I myself have put down based on my experiences which I've faced in this IT world and the interview process, right? So this guide will help you to ace all your technical interviews. So very first thing which I expect as a fresher for you guys is to know the CS fundamentals, be it any programming language which you know, but you should know all the fundamentals like OS and kernel related things. So all that thing you can expect as a college student, they might ask you. Second thing is I want you guys to pick up any one programming language. Yes, because when you go to a software engineer line or software developer line, they expect you to know at least one programming language. You should be well versed with the syntax of that language and be confident, right? Because there might be coding interview challenges where you have to select language of your choice. So that's why if you have any one programming, like be it Java, be it Python, be it C++, you can pick any one, but be well versed in that. And then you have to do coding challenges regularly. Yes, this will indirectly speed up the code you write, right? At least five challenges, I would say, every day. And then the next point is understand the fundamentals. Understand fundamentals here I mean is like very basic thing of the programming language which you do, declaring an array, declaring different type of data types, how to iterate an array, and all these things, right? All these fundamental things, because these are the building blocks of any programs. So when you practice all this, the speed will automatically increase. Then when you are a fresher or a person who doesn't have any experience in the IT world, so when an interview speaks to you, right, he will obviously need some content, right? So the content is what you can provide is a relevant project to talk about. Be it a project you have done in your final year, be it a freelancing project which you have done on your own interest, or anything, right? Or any internship project, right? And obviously preferably it would be the programming language which you stated it is your primary role. So try to prepare that project very well, because that will create a base for the interviewer to ask you questions. And obviously you'll be confident on that project, right? Because that is something which you did. So this is how you can run the interview towards your benefit, right? And then learn to manage your time effectively during programming. Okay, so when we are a fresher, or when there will be a mass recruitment going on, there will be too many people attending interviews. So interviewers don't spend so much time on one candidate. So when in such interviews, when they give you one program to write, okay, they don't expect you to write a syntactically right program. What they are expecting you is a pseudocode. Pseudocode is nothing but an algorithm, or the logic which you want to write for the problem which they've given. So this will give them an idea in a short span of time. Okay, you know how to solve the problem. That's it. That is what I mean here by learn to use your time effectively while programming. Don't fall into writing correct syntax and everything. Just focus on the pseudocode, right? And the very important point here is take mock interviews. This is something which I tell my students also. So mock interviews is almost like a real interview, but there is not any result attached to the end of it, right? So when there is not a result attached, obviously you will be less fearful when you give the interviews. But what mock interviews will do is, like suppose you have a dream company of yours, any dream company, for suppose you have Google as your dream company. I know Google, right? So Google is your dream company, and when you go for the interview, suppose you get the very first interview call for Google. But whenever we do anything for the first time, right, we'll be scared. So when we give interviews, I have also fumbled in my interviews for the very first interviews, right? Because it will be a first experience. So when you give mock interviews, right, the chances of you going wrong, the chances of you not being fluent, all these things you will, and the chances to open up and speak to a stranger, right? So all these fears will go away when you keep giving mock interviews, right? So all this room of doing mistakes will all go away in your 4 to 5 mock interviews when you give. And then you will be very confident, and you will not lose that, at least you will have that 100% satisfaction that you gave 100% in the first company which you attended. Then get a study buddy or a mentor. When you're doing coding, try to, there are too many online platform these days, right? Go and register on the platform with your, with any of your friend or anyone, or and have a senior person, have a mentor who can see the kind of code you're writing, right? When there are two people or two eyes looking at the same thing, right, there'll be different perspective. So this will also improve your coding skills. And the last but very important point in this whole list is never turn down an opportunity to interview. Yes. So, as I gave an example of a dream company, Google, right? But there might be certain companies which you don't want to go. Like, it's maybe you didn't like the profile or anything. But I would still want you to go and attend interviews. Those interviews will act as a mock interviews, as a practice interview for you, because obviously you don't want to go to that company, but still when you give that interview, that fluency will increase, the you will be aware of the kind of questions they are asking, right? So that's the reason I'm telling you, never turn down an opportunity to give an interview whether or not you're interested to join that company. Yeah. All the best, everyone.